Hey everybody, Dev here, and Mini Dev in the background if he decides to chime in. We are halfway through an interesting clan war, and I've got some really good attacks to show you, particularly at the lower levels. So without further ado, let's get in. So Knipee's here, and he's using his dragons against a typical sort of four corner with a core base that you find at low town hall levels. Quite common when you're raiding as well. Note that he's taken out the two air defense that were in the path of the sweeper. He's got one air defense left, and the CC, you don't really tend to worry about that because there's often a dragon in there, and your dragons will most likely outnumber it and destroy it. So he's dropped his dragons on the western flank, and as I speed it up, you'll see that he'll use those dragons as a bit of a shield, and in come his loons that were in the CC. Note he's still got that one air defense to deal with. Once that goes down though, it's fairly elementary, and he's got his heroes on the opposite sides just to clear up the junk so that he doesn't end up getting one of those horrible 99% 2-star attacks where you have things in the corners. Alright, so fairly standard yet powerful dragon attack, and even if you've got level 3 dragons, you can still do some good strong attacks like this. Alright, so very classy and a great result. Alright, next one we're going to look at is Fish Guy. He's using some Valks this time, and this is a fairly engineered looking Town Hall 10 CC over here, and no Infernos to deal with, which is great, and he's got a Queen but no healers, so this will be interesting to see how he takes out the CC. First of all, a hog to draw, elementary draw there, and as predicted, some loons and a dragon in the CC. This time though, he's going to use golems. Now this is not an approach that I advocate all the time. It can be quite an expensive way to deal with CC troops, but he's effectively using the golems to hold the troops in the poison while the wizards sneak up and do their damage. In this case it's done alright because they've also actually helped to funnel those Valks into the core. So now that the Valkyries are in that core, he's managed to hit 2 of the bombs that were in there. Starts raging them up, and they're relatively contained, so that's not too bad. The golem's still taking the heat, Valkyries are doing the damage, heal spells will drop, and as you can see he's got some Valks going around the western flank, and he's got his king with wizards and support to deal with the rest. So a bit of a speed up here. You can see that the Valks are still in that core, perhaps maybe another rage and another heal, but he's still got CC Valks, and so strong at level 5. The rest of this should be, there you go, there's that rage, should be elementary from here. So Fish just showing us that you don't always need to have a Queen Walk going to take out a base like this, which is quite useful. Queen Walk is a good strategy, but typically your Queen needs to be at least level 10 before you can start considering it. Next up we've got Sly one, and he is going to be using some hogs. Now in this base, it's important that with any hog run that you take out the CC as quickly and efficiently as possible. He's got an awful lot of hogs, but he's got a kill squad there of wizards. So he's drawn out with a hog in the south and a golem up top. Now the golem's moving slowly. Usually you'd have an archer on that hut, but again he's going to use an approach similar to Fish, where he's going to put the poison down in that field where the golem is and try to use the wizards to finish off the rest, and he's got his queen there for good measure. Now this approach works quite well if you are happy for your queen to be sacrificed in order to take out the CC. Fortunately in this case didn't happen, and he was able to use the queen and the king to start clearing up all the junk on the outside. Hogs hit a giant bomb, obvious placement is obvious, and heal spell was there ready to go. So with a hog attack, be very cautious, look for the spaces where the bombs are, try to anticipate where they are. And really the only issue that he's having is these skeletons that are following the hogs around. Some people like to keep a poison spell for that if they know they're going to be able to save one after killing off the CC, but in this case he hasn't. But his hogs are strong enough, all the defensive buildings are down, the hogs turn, crush those skeletons, and this one is over. So again, watching out for those corner huts, but hogs move quickly enough that it's not really going to be an issue. Still surprised and impressed that his queen at level 1 has lasted the whole raid. Doesn't look as though she's taken any damage at all. And those last 2 bombs there, as you can see, fairly classy and strong attack from Sly. Alrighty. Next one on our list is Jgrocks. She doesn't appear too much on her video, so I thought it was time she gets a little bit of the limelight. She's got level 2 Valks, so this is a pretty good attack for someone with what I would consider low troops. CC's here, Queen at 6, so again Queen Walk probably not an option. And she's going to use a hog to draw the CC out. Again, it's loons and a dragon. Come on people, change it up. And again, using the golem. Okay, I don't know why I'm showing all these videos, because it's not really an approach I like to use with Omega, but when you've got limited resources, I suppose this is a way you can get it done. Maybe a CC golem in future, but I suppose she was using Valks in her CC, so yeah. Meanwhile, the funnel was quite strong, and the Valks have stayed together as a pack all the way into the core, which is excellent. And a rage here, and fortunately the Valkyries end up splitting, but they rejoin each other. So again, the issue with Valkyries under rage is that they will splinter, but you can see here they've now rejoined. She's got some wizards in there to take out that Expo on point defense, so no splash damage there. And that queen draws the Valkyries in even further to the core. Those heal spells were in just the right place, and JG has broken the back of this base, so we'll crank it up a little bit. Those golems over here have managed to distract that Expo long enough. And JG, with her level 2 Valks, has pulled off a pretty good 3-star attack here. Oh, you don't think so? Nah, it was a good attack. Go on, give her credit. Alright, and those golems ended up taking the fire from that Expo all the way to the end. Useful stuff. Alright. The next one I'm going to show you, the last one for this particular section, is Luca. Luca's pretty new to our clan, but he's already impressed with some good strong attacks. Take a look at this base. It's fairly spread out, so the funnel game really needs to be quite strong here. The CC is problematic, but he'll deal with this in pretty short order. That core could be quite tricky, and there is something in here that is, well, amusing when it works, but not so amusing if it's working against you. So he's found that little weakness there. That wizard tower probably needs to be advanced a little bit, so the CC radius sits on that wizard tower. And he's used an archer and some poison, and he's going to use a queen in order to... Oh, he's not going to use his queen. Right, okay, watch your videos first. He's going to try and use some archers to keep the dragon and the loon in the poison. Okay, very cheap way of going about it, which is quite good, because now he deploys his queen elsewhere. Right, there we go. So he's going to clear out this pod here, and then this pod here, and try and funnel his Valks through this pod in here. Alright, we'll speed up a little bit. Some wizards in a line. Probably needs to be better on the placement of those wizards. One per building would have been fine just there. Now his Valks have come in. He's used a jump spell. And this jump spell accesses that compartment by virtue of that wall there. And it is accessible through here as well. So well done, Luca. That's a pretty good a pretty good jump drop. As they mow through that wall. Alright, so Valkyries have split into 2. In this open base though, it's okay. Now he's dropped his rage down. And going through that core, under heal. Alright, now here comes the king. Watching these Valks here, they go one way. Oh, they see the king, they have to go round that wall. They go after him, king jumps around. God damn. Alright, that Tesla's pinging them. Finally the Valks catch up with the king. That's frustrating. We've seen that happen before. In fact, one of my rubbish attacks vids, perhaps I think it was the first one, we had a queen doing that with Frizz's Valks, so not good. The second lot of Valks that went round the outside whereas actually preferable this time, and the healers have split off, probably because the queen died. Alright, and so all in all, this attack is done here. Alright. Now we've got a little bit of time left, so what I'm going to do is show you one from Jgrocks. Okay. Right, and Jgrocks managed to secure a pretty clutch 2-star all the way up here. Alright, so another one of these Town Hall 10s with no Infernos. Here's where the CC is, and I actually think Jgrocks did almost a good job. I say almost. Alright, using a queen here to try and take out as much of this stuff down here as possible. Ideally, he wanted a hog to come in from here. Bless you. Alright, but he forgot about this cannon here. Used a wizard there. I suppose he was trying to. Then he realised time was against him. His hog went in, went for that cannon. So the CC draw was not very effective. But what it did do was create a pretty strong funnel by clearing out that little pod. Popping off ability. And now he's trying to clear out the junk on that side so that his Valks will go straight in. Now he's used the golem this time with the poison, so he's used a backup option to try and take out the CC, which was pretty effective there. Now his Valks have got a really good funnel and a golem shield, so in the core, in the rage, and away we go. Probably a lot going on, so I'll just slow back down to normal speed. Alright, so you can see that his Valks with the rage have split into 2 groups, some up here and some down here. Right, but his queen is still going strong, still got 1 healer left. Alright, and those Valks down there pretty strong. There are no real defences except for when you get up to here, but that golem is still taking the fire, which is quite useful. And down here we've got a golem on that expo as well, so all in all, with time running against him, I think he finished this with 1 second to spare. It looks as though Jgrocks is going to pull off another really good attack here. Right, well that's it from me for this part. Okay, there will be a part 2 and most likely a part 3. The next video will concentrate on some of our defences. Right, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Dev out. And Mini Dev out.